I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Squid Game. Hundreds of cash-strapped players accept a strange invitation to compete in children's games. Inside, a tempting prize awaits, with deadly high stakes. Several weeks ago, I was just browsing around Netflix looking for shows to debut review, and I came across Squid Game. Never heard of it, and because Netflix sucks at cover art, it doesn't look like anything. There's a, let's see, I think it was different before. Now it is a guy in pink pointing. It looks like he might be in a warehouse. There's like an inset picture of... Is it like a felt tabletop that you would play like cards on or something with tiny little slot machines in the background? Are my eyes going bad? What am I looking at? Yeah, I have no idea. It's like a guy in a pink jumpsuit pointing. Yeah, that's really attractive. But I mean, it's called Squid Game, so it's like, what the hell is this? So I'm guessing it's one of those horror game show kind of things, like maybe a cross between Running Man and Battle Royale, something like that. Now, I didn't watch this because the next show I was going to debut review was He-Man, the 2021 one, which I did, which was the last debut review I produced, put on YouTube. And in fact, as I record this, I just finished recording it, 5 minutes ago. So now I can watch Squid Game. Now, I procrastinated for weeks on He-Man because I didn't want to watch it. So I didn't watch Squid Game either. And in the ensuing weeks, I've seen it trending on social media. A lot of people are talking about it. It's getting a lot of coverage in the various entertainment websites. I've read none of the coverage. The only thing I've seen is crowds of people in, I think, pink and green tracksuits in very colorful locations, which look like a cross between Splatoon and Double Dare. And there's apparently a doll, like a big, 8-10 foot doll of a woman in a dress, kind of creepy looking. That seems to be striking a cultural nerve because people are modding that imagery into video games. No idea where that... I mean, it might not even be in the first episode, but... So, apparently Squid Game is, if not good, at least, worth talking about. Of course, by the time I actually edit and, upload this, that's a better word, upload, the moment will have probably passed. But, yeah, so, Squid Game. There better be squids in it. I didn't see any squids. Squid Game. Where are the squids? Squid Game? I call shenanigans. I expect squids in my Squid Game. So, Squid Game, at least as the subtitles explain it, is the name of a children's game which is a cross between Hopscotch and Red Rover and some other things. It's kind of it feels like a Calvin Ball-esque, just one of those weird games that kids kind of make up as they go along and have really weird rules. Um, what do you want to bet that Squid Game ends up being the final game of Squid Game? So, so people who wear masks and sit in the shadows lure people who are desperately in debt to participate in, well, let's just call it the Squid Game. It's not actually called that in the show, but a series of competitions which will, if you make it through all 6 games, you get money, prizes, Smash TV, yay. So it's not quite like Battle Royale, in which they just kidnap some random bus full of kids. It's something that is... They are targeting certain people, but the certain people do actually have to proactively choose to be in this situation, which, to be fair, is not fully explained. At no point do they say, if you don't win, you're going to die. They don't tell you that death is a possibility. So the premise is you start with, I think, 456 people, and you play children's games, like Squid Game, or in this first episode, Red Light, Green Light, where the idea is to, you have one person who's standing on the other side of a playground or soccer field or something, and turns around and covers their eyes, and they sing red light, green light, and then they turn around and look, and whoever they see moving is eliminated. And then they turn back around and they go, red light, green light, and turn around, and whoever's moving, and what you do is you try to be first to get across the field in line without getting caught. Except in this one, if they catch you, you get shot. Shot dead. That's what elimination means. Now, interestingly, the rules that everyone signs here, they're all... When they sign up for this thing, and they're picked up to being taken to whatever secret island this is hosted on, they're gassed to sleep, and they wake up in different clothes, and weird people in masks are explaining the rules, and they're like, okay, this is your last chance to back out. They don't even... They're not told that they might die, but they're also not told what the prize is. They're told it's money, and they're told it's more money the more you win, but who knows how much it is. So they all have a chance to sign a contract, and it has 3 rules, and it's... You cannot opt out of the games. I don't remember what the second rule is, but the third rule is the games can be terminated by majority vote. Well, that's interesting. Majority vote of whom? The players? Or the shadowy people in the masks who are watching? That will probably come up in later episodes. What I found particularly interesting is not one of the 456 people said, you know what? No. I'm a billion... What is the currency in Korea? I don't remember. I'm at won? I'm a billion won into debt, but this is... I'm getting some bad vibes, man. Red flags all over the place. You gas us, you take us to an undisclosed location, you take all our stuff and change our clothes, you're all wearing masks, you're being a little cagey about what's going on here. Yeah, I'm not signing on the dotted line. You think there would be like at least 1 out of 456 people? At least one person who's like, nah, man. But no, they all go through. And the very memeable doll, not a woman, but a school child, so like 8 to 12 or something is the what it's supposed to look like, and it's closer to like 15 feet tall. Now that I've seen the show, and it's a cool design. It's very creepy. It's got cameras for irises that go looking around and go. It's really nice. I can see why people are really cottoning to that design. It's cool. I have a feeling it's probably like only in this episode, though. We never see it again. Interestingly, after the first game, because they don't explain that eliminated means you're going to die, everyone freaks out and tries to run. So, of the 456, there's like maybe, I don't know, 30 some odd people left. They kill everyone right off the bat. That probably makes the show a lot easier to film, to be fair. But, and it's also, yeah, that sounds right. People panic and run, and I'm actually surprised as many survived as they did. Show does a good job of explaining games that you may or may not be familiar with. Squid Game, I'm gonna guess, is made up for this, but it could be a bog standard Korean children's game that I'm just unfamiliar with. Red Light, Green Light translates at least to America pretty well. That's one I know. I'm gonna guess in Korean it's not red light, green light. It seems to be more sing a little tune, and when I stop singing, you have to stop. So it's a little bit closer to like musical chairs, but the mechanics of the game are very close to American children's red light, green light game. So that's how it's translated in the subtitles. And for the sake of understanding, which is the point of localization, I agree with that change, knowing what I know. I'm going to guess if they did a straight translation, it would be confusing. It wouldn't be as clear what the game is and what the rules are. So I feel that's probably an excellent change. Okay, so we've got a good hook for a show. Children's games that are deadly. You know, what if Double Dare, but if you lose, you die in a bloody fashion? Also, the costuming is a good idea. Everyone is in a bulky green tracksuit. Not flattering to the figure, but it does give you lots of room to put big old bags of squibs so people can go all over the place. So that's good thinking. Good choice. So as I was saying, very good hook. Because even if you don't like the show, and I'll tell you my feelings on it in a moment, even if you don't episode 1 is called Red Light, Green Light. Episode 2 is called Hell. Okay, I'm going to go off a tangent here. I'm going to read all of the episode titles and try and see if I can discern what the games might be. So, episode 2 is Hell. Episode 3 is The Man with the Umbrella. 4 is Stick to the Team. Maybe something like Stickball, or I don't know. 5 is A Fair World. 6 is... pretty sure it's not an English word. I don't know if there are any words in English that have 2 G's in a row at the start of the word. Gaganboo? I don't know. 7 is VIPs, 8 is Frontman, and 9 is One Lucky Day. So, no. Also interesting, I think there's 6 games. I think they said there were 6 games. There's 9 episodes. You would think it would be structured 1 game per episode, but apparently not. Unless, yeah, so. Alright, what was I talking about? Okay, so the hook is good. Deadly children's games. Alright, I like it. Even if you're not a fan of the show, that's a great hook that you're like, okay, show didn't work for me, but I kind of see I want to see what the other games are, right? So that's good. But that alone does not mean, just because you're hooked doesn't mean the show is good. What's important, I feel, is if you care about the characters in the situation, right? The people playing the game. Because if you don't care about the characters, you're just watching the game and watching people die, and there's fun to be had. But if you want a good story and something you think about fondly, you want good characters. I feel the ball has been dropped with episode 1. So, episode 1 focuses on our main character, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. So he's the one we are following. He's the point of view character. He's the one we know the most about. There are a couple other co-leads, or, you know, people that you'll recognize in the rapidly thinning crowd of participants, who we don't know much about, at least in episode 1. As for right now, they are broad archetypes. You have well, it wouldn't be Yakuza, but the organized crime bully guy. You have the pickpocket, who picked his pocket earlier. Where you give me my 10,000, or actually I think it's like 4 million won back. You horrible pickpocket, you. There's the old guy who's just there because he's old and he's gonna die soon, and why not? That specifically is not really an archetype, but the archetype is more the character who's there because they don't have anything better to do. Like, is it Ali Sheedy's character in The Breakfast Club? She didn't do anything. She just had nothing better to do, and that's why she's in detention. You know, that character who's there because they're just there for a lark, right? That's the trope, the archetype. But this is a really old guy with a brain tumor who's just like, I'm gonna die soon, so I like games are fun. And he's having a blast playing Red Light, Green Light, so that was kind of cool. But we don't really know anything about these characters. Oh, we also have another character who's the childhood friend of our protagonist, who he's always been jealous of and thought that he was, you know, off doing the super adult, mature business thing. And if only I could live up to Jeff. Jeff, what are you doing? You're in debt? I thought you had it made, man. You went to college and stuff. Okay. But we don't know anything about these characters yet, and that's fine. We'll probably learn more about them as the show goes on, as long as we know and like our lead here. Gary. I don't like Gary. He sucks. One of my personal failings is I have no patience for gambling addicts, at least in fiction, as they're often portrayed in fiction, such as in this movie and recently The Gambler I watched with James Caan from the 70s somewhere. I don't know anyone in my life who's a gambling addict, so my only point of comparison is fiction, and these characters, I don't like them, because I understand this is not how you would treat someone in real life, but for a character in fiction, I'm just like, just stop doing that! Just stop! Oh, I'm in debt, they're gonna kill me, I finally got money, alright, I'm gonna go straight to the track. No, pay off your goddamn debt! Part of having gambling addiction is that problem exactly right there. And I get that. And I would never hold someone in real... I think I talked about this during my Gambler review. I'd never hold someone to that standard in real life, but in fiction, they just drive me nuts. And it's exacerbated by the fact that this guy is living with his mom, which is totally fine. But he's not so much living with his mom as he's living off his mom. He has a daughter. He's divorced. Mom has custody. He doesn't seem to care about his kid. It's like more of an obligation to him because his mom has to remind him that it's his daughter's birthday. So here's here's a 20, 40 bucks or something. Please go buy her, take her out to dinner, get her a gift or something. You know, she gives him like 20 bucks or whatever. And he's like, well, that's not enough. She's like, Jesus Christ, fine, here's another. Please go take care of your kid. And then she goes out to do the laundry, and he steals her credit card or bank card or whatever. And which is something he does often because she changed her PIN, but she changed it to the kid's birthday, so he figures it out. And he steals money from his mother to pay off his debt. No, to go to the track. He ends up getting a little bit of money. Well, he wins at the track, but then he gets it stolen by the pickpocket, and then the loan sharks beat him up and threaten to kill him, and he ends up with, oh, that's right, he tips the teller like 10,000 won, and then he goes back later, can I have the tip back? Pretty funny and pathetic, but it works. So he takes his 10,000 won, and he tries to get his daughter a present out of a crane game. And he sucks at it, so he keeps feeding more money. It's like, just buy her a goddamn stuffed toy, dude! You could just buy a stuffed toy! You don't have to fish it out of a crane game! You're probably not going to get anything. You might not get anything. He ends up having a kid play it for him, and it ends up getting a lighter in the shape of a gun. Yeah, good job. He doesn't check what the present is before he gives it to her, so he screws that up too. But when he knocks someone over when he's running away from the loan sharks, and he stops to help them back up. He's on his way home, and he stops to he's got a bag of fish junk that he got from a fishmonger, and he gives it to a stray cat. Okay, so they're feeding in some. Well, he's a kind guy. He's stupid. He's irresponsible, but he's genuinely kind. And then they start getting into how the stepmom or his ex-wife is going to be moving to the U.S. with her new husband and the daughter, and he'll never see her again, and she'll learn English and forget Korean, and they won't even be able to talk to her anymore. So that's how he joins the Squid Game, to earn money so that he can, I guess, share custody or something. Here's my problem. You can engineer... This whole intro would have been fine without the stealing from mom and irresponsible gambling and all that obnoxious stuff. There are lots of people who are in horrible, crushing debt, not because they're irresponsible or take advantage of other people when things don't go their way. For me, at least, now maybe this for some viewers makes him a more relatable, more well-rounded guy. To me, it makes him an unlikable ass. It actually feels like someone figured that out like 20 minutes into the episode and then reverse gear. It's like, oh, wait. No, this makes him kind of unlikable and we have to be with him through the whole story. So, he's nice to cats and he really does love his daughter. She's not just an obligation that his mom has to remind him of. It feels like there's a gear switch in the middle of the episode there. So, my biggest problem with I'll be watching episode 2, because like many, I'm sure, I want to see what the next game is. And I like watching people explode into giblets. So, the problem I have with the show is the main character. I don't care about Gary. He could get shot and die. I'm happy to follow any of the other characters, like the old man who has a brain tumor, is going to die soon, is just having a good time. I'll follow him. He seems cool. Gary, though, if he gets shot, whatever. That's kind of a problem. Maybe Gary will endear himself to me as we go through the show. I hope so. So, strong hook. Could have done better with the character. Am I saying if I were the showrunner that I would have done better? No.